Hi. Really quick, indecision. What is indecision? Indecision is the decision to stay where you are, whatever that may be, energetically, um, in the world, or whatever the case may be. So, how do we break that down to figure out what is right for us? And this is going to be very general because everybody's situation is going to be different, obviously, right? First of all, it's where did the potential decision come from? So is it external where someone says, well, I'm going to offer you this position. Um, and then you have to make the decision of, do I stay in my current job or do I move? So that's going to be dealt with a little differently because with that, we can always do pros and cons and really weigh, like, what are the benefits of staying in this position? What are the benefits of going to the other position? What are the cons of staying in this position? And what are the cons of going into the other position? And it is good to break it down into a 4-part section because even though one seems redundant, like what's the benefits of staying here and what are the cons of going there? They're not all the time. And it just helps you to dig a little bit deeper in your mind. Okay. So when it's something that's presented to you externally, then pros and cons can really help with that problem solving and making that decision. When it comes from you, though, okay, so sometimes, I remember there was a point in my life, I was at my favorite job ever, surrounded by all of these wonderful people. I loved that job. But I felt with every fiber of my existence when it was time to move on. My soul was craving something more. We all come to those kind of points in our life, those crossroads where it's like, okay, what is it? What else do I need, or do I desire, or do I want, or whatever the case may be? In any case, the decision to move was coming from within me. There was no particular path in front of me. I had to forge it, right? But I first had to make the decision to do so. And sometimes once we make that decision that, yes, I'm going to forge ahead, I'm going to do something different because that's what I feel I need, then oftentimes opportunities will come across our path. When we sit in the energy that it's time to move forward, that's oftentimes when the universe will present us with options. And then we get to kind of then do the pros and cons of which option is best for me, which one is more in alignment with where I'm looking at or what I'm feeling I'm being pulled towards. And it can be very confusing because with that comes a lot of unknown, right? Especially when you're trying to create space to grow into. So that can oftentimes be uncomfortable, especially if people deal with anxiety, because oftentimes the number one culprit of anxiety, or not culprit, symptom of anxiety is control. I have to control, because it's this illusion that if I control, then I don't have to fear it because I know what to expect. And it is an illusion because we never really have control in that sense. It's that innate desire, though, to control in order to avoid whatever our fears are or those unpleasant sensations. Okay. So control, avoidance, same thing. But when you see those present, usually it's some form of anxiety. As we ground ourselves, heal, and grow, we become less anxious and more trusting of ourselves to be able to manage whatever comes across our path and to hear our inner voice and trust that it knows what's best for us so that we can make those decisions to move forward. When we feel we get stuck, though, in indecision, it means whether the option is coming internally or externally, where we have a decision to make. When we get stuck in indecision, all that is its own decision to stay stuck. Easier said than done, in the sense that, oh, well, you just make another decision, right? It's not that easy, but this is just a little insight in how that kind of plays out. When it comes from internal, there's a reason for it. It's not always the reason we think, but there's a reason nonetheless. And we need to be able to sit with that. That's part of the growth. When we sit with that, we spend time with it, we ask ourselves those difficult why questions and dig deeper, then we often can have a more informed choice or decision to make. But make no mistake, indecision is still a decision. So that's my 2 cents for the day. Have a great one, and I'll talk soon. Bye.